You ever sit in your car in complete silence after dropping someone off and just know, like deep in your bones, that they will never love you the way you love them? That feeling right there, that's where we start tonight. Because I know what it's like to be the guy who does everything right, the one who listens, who remembers birthdays, who sends the text me when you get home safe and means it. I know what it's like to be the guy who watches the person you want fall for the one person who couldn't care less. The bad boy, the walking red flag with good lighting, the dude who somehow gets everything without trying, while you're sitting there with your heart on Do Not Disturb, hoping they finally see you. And the worst part? Sometimes they do see you, just not in the way you want. They see you as comfort, as support, as the emotional Airbnb they crash at between heartbreaks. You are the layover. They want the turbulence. You are the playlist. They want the static. And yeah, I know you're confused because everyone keeps telling you, just be nice, be respectful, be emotionally available. And you did that. You did it all. And you got ghosted by someone who said you're everything they've ever wanted. You got benched, friend zoned, or strung along just enough to hope, but never enough to feel chosen. Let me tell you something that no one had the balls to say to me when I needed to hear it. Being nice isn't the problem. Being empty is. Because a lot of us, me included for years, were nice for survival. Nice because we didn't think we were enough on our own. Nice because we thought if we made someone else feel good, maybe they'd pick us. We weren't being nice. We were being performers. We were being safe. We were being who we thought they wanted us to be. Quiet, available, always waiting, always ready, always there for them. And yeah, we were there. We were always there, but not for ourselves. That's the difference. Now listen, we got to talk about this bad boy thing because it's real and it's deeper than leather jackets and emotional damage. It's psychological, it's chemical, it's wiring. When someone's nervous system is used to chaos, to unpredictability, to love being inconsistent, to affection coming in highs and lows, then stability doesn't feel like love. It feels like boredom. It feels suspicious. Like, wait, you actually like me? You actually respect me? What do you want from me? Because their whole body has been trained to associate pain with love. And the bad boy? He's an echo, a reminder of something old, something unfinished. He triggers their survival mode. He makes them feel. And when you grow up chasing love, the chase feels like love. The calm doesn't. That's why they pick him. Not because he's better. Not because he's more attractive or smarter or funnier or anything logical, but because their pain recognizes his. Let me tell you a story. This one hurts. I had a homie. We'll call him Malik. Golden-hearted dude, funny without trying. Wrote poetry, played piano, held the door for strangers. Real soft inside, but tried to hide it under this fake tough shell. He meets this girl, Kiara, artsy, moody, eyes like she's seen too much. She's in love with the idea of love, but allergic to actually receiving it. They click. Deep conversations, eye contact that makes you forget time. She tells him things she's never told anyone. Says he's safe. That word. That cursed word. You know what happened next. They sleep together. She cries in his arms, tells him she's scared. And the next week, she starts pulling away. Stops replying fast, starts acting busy. And then boom, she's posting cute little brunch pics with some dude named Rico, who's built like a red flag with abs. Malik? Crushed. Thought he found something real. And she just left. No warning, no closure, just confusion and, you're such a great guy. I'm just not ready. He wasn't the problem. He just wasn't her trigger. And that's when I realized people don't want real love until they're ready to receive it. Until they're ready to face the parts of them that think love has to hurt. And you can't fix that. You can't love someone into healing. You can't be good enough to make someone treat you right if they're addicted to chaos. What you can do? You heal yourself. You stop bending to be chosen. You stop shrinking to be safe. You stop trying to be the nice guy and you start becoming a real man. One who knows who the hell he is when no one's watching. One who isn't trying to be understood by everyone, just understood by himself. One who speaks his truth even if his voice shakes. One who says what he feels, not because it's the right time, but because it's real. One who's done twisting into shapes to fit someone else's fantasy. One who doesn't chase clarity from people who live in confusion. One who can stand in front of someone and say, I want you, but I will not abandon myself to keep you. That's different. That's rare. That's not nice. That's honest. That's rooted. That's attractive in a way that makes people sit up and feel things they don't have names for. You stop folding. You stop over-explaining your soul to people who were never listening. You stop auditioning. You stop editing yourself down to something palatable just to be loved halfway. You start walking the hell away the moment you feel breadcrumbs. Not after 3 weeks of overthinking. Not after your self-worth is eroded. Immediately. Because you've felt that emptiness before, the one that comes from waiting to be chosen. And now, you'd rather be alone in peace than partnered in confusion. That's the energy people crave, not chaos, not cold-heartedness, certainty, clarity. That unshakable presence that says, this is who I am, this is how I love. Take it or leave. And yeah, that's what people call bad boy energy. But it's not bad. It's just bold. It's not reckless. It's just raw. It's, I want you in my life, but I'll be just fine if you walk out. That's not a threat. That's a promise to yourself. It's confidence without arrogance, power without control, depth without desperation. Because here's the secret they don't tell you. People aren't drawn to cruelty. They're drawn to conviction. They're not hypnotized by heartbreakers. They're mesmerized by people who don't flinch when someone pulls away. People who don't beg. People who don't explain why they're enough. People who already know. You become the kind of man whose silence says more than someone else's 3 a.m. paragraph, whose presence shifts the energy in a room, who doesn't say much, because he doesn't need to. He's not performing. He's not adjusting the volume of who he is to be more digestible. He speaks when it's real, he stays when it's right, and he walks when it's time, because he's not afraid to lose people anymore, you hear me? You're not afraid to lose people when you stop being afraid to lose yourself. And yeah, some people will leave. Some people will still choose the circus. Some people will look at your peace and mistake it for emptiness. That's not your burden. Let them run. You've got roots now. You're not chasing anymore. You're building. You're blooming. You're glowing in a way that isn't loud, but still impossible to ignore. And that version of you, he's dangerous. Not because he's cold, but because he's clear. Not because he's playing some power game, but because he's finally stopped playing altogether. He knows his worth. He knows his walkaway point. He knows that a connection that costs you your peace is too damn expensive. And that kind of man, he doesn't just get attention, he gets respect. And respect, that's the soil where real desire grows. Deep, lasting, magnetic. So let me ask you again, who were you before the world told you to be small? Before they told you that being soft made you weak? That feeling too much made you needy? That wanting love made you less of a man? Before your kindness got mistaken for weakness one too many times? Who were you before the heartbreaks hardened you? And more importantly, who are you ready to be now? Because you've got a choice. You can keep being the guy who waits to be chosen, who trades pieces of himself just to be kept around, who watches someone chase dysfunction while your love collects dust on the shelf. Or you can choose yourself, boldly, daily, without apology. You can keep chasing the high of chaos. Or you can become the kind of person chaos doesn't even dare approach, the kind of person who is peace. You ever seen someone so steady that it makes people nervous? So calm they look threatening to someone used to storms? That's who you're becoming. Not loud, not flashy, but solid, present, whole. And if you're sitting there right now with your heart cracked open, with your self-esteem bruised from all the almosts and maybes and it's not you, it's me, let me remind you of something. You're not broken. You're just healing in public. You're just finally waking up to what you actually deserve. The bad boy might get the girl, but the healed man, he creates a life where love doesn't have to be earned. It's welcomed. It's safe to stay. It's soft and loud and real.